What's up, everybody? My name is Tyler Wargo.
And I'm Mickey Perella.
Welcome to the Sports Grind. Today, we're going to talk about so much stuff. Just one thing today.
Today we're going
to be talking about the coronavirus and how that's affecting sports, because literally like every sport is canceled. You know, before this show even started, I was like, what am I going to talk about? This thing literally only happened like a week ago when they canceled like the NBA and everything. Like it just started canceling everything a couple days ago, and that screwed up ESPN. That screwed up every sporting event, everything. Matter of fact, it kind of screwed up me because I was confused on what I was gonna say today. But today might be a quick show because, you know, this huge thing that's happening with how there's no sports. We don't really know what to talk about, but we will talk about what sport the coronavirus is affecting, and we'll give our opinions on it, and we'll try the best we can to cover this one topic. So without further ado, Mickey, what do you think about this controversy?
I think the coronavirus is very depressing, especially since, like, you know, most of the, average age is, around 80 years old. But I can definitely see why, they're taking all the necessary precautions and everyone is freaking out.
Because no one wants to imagine this. Imagine you being like an all-time NBA star or like a basketball player or like MLB player, and like you literally like give like your grandma or something like that the coronavirus, and they actually die from it. Like elder people, like this isn't just some flu or anything like that. This is something that can literally kill you if you're old. So it's like maybe not affecting younger people like us, but it can affect elder people.
It definitely. And I also feel like that this pandemic at the moment is really affecting everyone's everyday lives, not in sports. I think a lot of people didn't really take it seriously at first. Rudy Gobert, for example, touching all the stuff and doing all of that.
In 2 months, he traveled to America really quickly.
I know, but when Rudy Gobert was doing that, whatever, and he was like, oh, coronavirus, and now look, he has corona. He got Donovan Mitchell, his teammate, corona, and now people like Tom Hanks
it's a rapid fire spread.
Has corona too. So
this is
bad for everything.
Yeah,
everything's canceled from sports. The economy's starting to go down.
It's crazy how like insane like this whole thing like went. Because I remember like 2 weeks ago it was all fine for us Americans. Maybe not for other countries, but for us Americans it wasn't that bad.
Even school's getting closed too because of the corona.
But I like that we're taking an effect, and I hope all of you guys are taking effect for this, because this is a serious thing.
Yeah, stay safe.
I hope you guys wash your hands, because I know that's what I've been doing lately. I don't know about you, Mickey,
but
I've
definitely been washing my hands.
So, yeah, you know what? We just hope that we find, and I've heard there won't be a cure until like next year.
The scientists are dealing with the vaccines. They're dealing.
Well,
with the
we'll pray for things to get better.
Indeed.
But for now, things are like not happening for like maybe two or like 4 weeks. So
yeah.
We got to see what happens then. Another thing is, so without further ado, we'll get into the sports and their thoughts and everything that's been going on in the sports world with coronavirus. So first off, we have the NCAA tournament. That's off. That was literally started. That started, but they had to postpone that, so they just cut everything off. That's not there anymore. A lot of fans are upset.
Definitely. Mostly because at first, March Madness was going to go on and they were supposed to do, have the games with no fans.
Yeah.
It'd still be broadcast on live television.
But in a separate place, which is crazy.
Well, actually, they were actually supposed to do it in their regular place. It was just, they just didn't want any fans there.
Yeah.
But then...
You know how weird that would be? I've never seen an actual game go on with nobody. Like, I would love to watch that game.
There's only one thing I can remember. There was a Baltimore Orioles game a couple years ago where they didn't have any fans attend the game because there was like protesting in Baltimore, so they completely just, didn't have any fans attend due to safety reasons. That's the only reason I can think of.
Yeah.
But they were going to do that with the NCAA, but as the NBA, suspended the entire season, and then all the other sports followed suit.
The thing is, though, is that we'll get to NBA in a second, but like during the game, they literally stopped the whole game. They stopped everything. Fans went home because they found out that one of the players had coronavirus. That's how big this stuff is, and it's not really a joke to some people. A lot of people really can get sick, and You know, I was sick a couple months ago, and that's not fun. So
Yes.
no one likes being sick. That's what I gotta say. Another thing is that the NHL is also postponed a lot, and also it's like almost the end of the season for the NHL. So it's like, but that's postponed, and it's just like NBA, their season's gonna be over soon. They got playoffs to worry about, but no, it's gonna be extending now. So the coronavirus really threw things around in a matter of like a couple days.
Yes,
so that's how crazy it
has.
really is.
The past 3 days have been crazy for sports.
Exactly. It's weird to think about that something ever happened, because when I was growing up, we had Ebola and all that type of stuff, but now it's like...
But it was not this.
But it was contained in another country. But like this, when it hits America, it's an outbreak.
Yeah.
And things are going wrong, and you know, it's very upsetting.
Yeah.
It's so weird to me about how this is all like happening so quickly because of one sickness, but you know, that's why we all gotta like wash our hands and stay safe, so we don't have any more of these sporting events canceled. We love sports. We want to keep having sports. Another thing is that MLB is postponed 2 weeks, so spring training, I guess they're just gonna jump right into that season. When they get back.
The thing that I've read so far is that spring training is canceled.
Spring training is canceled,
They are postponing it for the next 2 weeks.
Yep.
Which means that will set back opening day. I feel like I've heard people that said that the season will start in May, actually, because they need more time to get ready for the season. But if there's any good to come out of this, the players get to rest longer. And also,
that's very true.
The players that got injured,
especially the Yankees. Remember the Yankees were getting hurt and all that type of stuff.
Yeah, definitely. They'll most likely have Aaron Judge back if they start in May.
Yeah.
So the Yankees will actually be in a better position.
Yankee fans, be happy about this. All right, the virus is not good, but Yankee fans, I'm a Yankee fan, but our players can finally be rested. So the next sport is also MLS. MLS is postponed. That is another awful thing to hear. A lot of MLS fans are mad. Imagine buying tickets in advance.
Yes.
And then like finding out like, oh, you can't because of this sickness.
Well, the good news is about the postpones.
There's a lot of people too at stadiums too. You don't want to get them sick.
Refund. Some of the leagues are going to offer refunds.
I agree with that. I think that's a great idea.
The XFL, which Tyler hasn't mentioned yet, but the XFL, unfortunately, is done. We will not be seeing the XFL for the rest of the season.
Actually, let's talk about the XFL. Let's talk about the XFL.
Yeah, it's suspended for the rest of the year.
The thing that's crazy about that...
The XFL players are going to get their benefits and all their money, and then they're also going to let the players get looks from the NFL. So people like P.J. Walker, my main man, who brought the Roughnecks to 5-0, he is going to probably get looks in the NFL, along with several other players in the league.
Yeah. I mean, in my opinion, like, the XFL is so new. It's like, imagine like, oh, I remember our first season. Back when the XFL were playing and all the players were playing, their first season was not even a season. They played half the season, and then it just got infected. Everyone just got infected with coronavirus, and that just stopped everything. And the XFL, this is their first season of ever. This is like a first sport. This is like their first ever like league and all that type of stuff, but like not anymore because of this virus. So it's like it's not even a season. You know what I mean?
Yes,
also,
definitely.
it's like all these you know, like for example, maybe like when we get back from the coronavirus and if the XFL continues, what if we come back and there's a miracle with the New York Guardians? Like, what if they actually like come back after this break and like they start doing amazing?
I don't know. It depends on who the players are going to get, because
Exactly.
I bet a lot of those players are going to be on new teams next year because they're probably going to go through a redraft. Mm-hmm. Actually, I'm not even.
I think there will
I don't even know how it's going to work now. It's going to be interesting to see what happens next season.
All the meetings that these sporting events are having, they're also postponed. So like they're either
getting postponed or they're going to get, you know,
every sporting
online.
event that you will see on TV right now is postponed. It's so awful.
Yeah, the two other things that I want to mention, because there's a lot of postponed, so it's hard to remember everything, but two other things have been postponed. The spring NCAA spring sports has been postponed, and also the Boston Marathon, which usually happens in April, is also getting postponed.
So I honestly, the runners who actually qualified, it's not like they're never going to be in the Boston Marathon. They will get that chance, which I'm thankful for.
Yes,
but
it'll probably be 2 months down the road.
The thing is, though, is that like you trained, wouldn't you want to keep like wouldn't you want to stay fit? You have to stay fit for another 2 months for this marathon now. You have to like, They went through a lot to get there, so it's like they need to keep that momentum.
Right, they need to keep training.
Yeah, exactly.
They need to keep doing training and stuff
for like another 2 months.
Which is hard for them to do because they're being advised to be social distance.
Yeah, exactly. We don't want these teams being quarantined too, which also gets us to the NBA. The NBA is postponed. Now that I can see because one of the Utah Jazz players actually does have coronavirus.
Yes, so 2 players on the Jazz have coronavirus as of right now.
And they're quarantined in Oklahoma City right now, in a hotel, right now as we speak, until they get the results, which means there'll be one plane with positive and one plane with negative. And it's just like that one team, and like if one referee has been to that game, because I know there was a referee that hosted another game that was not the Jazz, but they hosted another team, but that referee also was a referee for the Jazz game. So with that happening, they're just going to postpone all the games.
Right. We'll get into a little bit on who the player was that got first diagnosed. That was Rudy Gobert, the center for the Utah Jazz. And, as I mentioned before, he was like, he was mocking the coronavirus before he got,
Which is funny. Don't do that. Don't make fun of coronavirus.
Don't.
You could possibly have it.
He was touching the microphones. He was touching the tape recorders, and he was just trying to be funny and all that. And then he got diagnosed with the coronavirus.
That's a joke. This is why you got to
go
to the doctors.
Also, according to reports,
to see if you have it.
According to reports, he was also touching all of his teammates' stuff and belongings and being very careless.
Keep your hands to yourself.
And he got Donovan Mitchell infected as well, which is the second person with coronavirus. And now it could be even more than that.
Do you think there will be more players that will get it though? I think so. Because if it's a whole team with that one player, that one player can't just sit in a room the whole time. And also, he's going to get around to other things.
Also, the coronavirus starts out with asymptomatic, symptoms, so they don't really come out right away.
It takes 2 weeks. I heard it takes 2 weeks.
So he's had this for 2 weeks, and he's been traveling for 2 weeks. Imagine all the stops that he's been at with the virus.
It definitely got
those teams as well.
It spreaded faster and faster and faster, and that's just crazy. And that's why everything is getting shut down, because some people may look at this and be like, oh, it's the coronavirus, but they might have it. I could possibly have it. I don't. I actually don't. But you never know who could have it. People could just be living their everyday life, maybe coughing it every now and then, but it's not like they're actually gonna get it.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
So what else is postponed? Golf is postponed too?
Yes, the Masters.
The Masters is postponed, and the Masters that's another big sporting event. So it's really heartbreaking to just see all this.
I heard that they were considering having no fans, but how weird would that be?
There's a lot of teams there's a lot of sports that want to have.
Imagine
that.
Tiger Woods going out on the golf course and no fans. Everyone knows that Tiger Woods is one of the most popular golfers in ever. So just imagine him and other golfers just not having any fans. Crazy.
Also last thing I want to say about this is that another thing about this whole coronavirus and everything, it's all these players are getting, if they do get sick, you know how weak they're going to feel? They're not going to want to do anything. They're just going to want to sit in bed and just hope to feel better. But when you're an actual professional player, you really need to wash your hands and stay safe because you want to stay in shape. You don't want to ruin anything like that. So it's a big thing. And a lot of these, it's not even that, but sporting events that aren't even as popular are still getting postponed. This is just a huge thing to worry about. And we'll be back with everything that's been going on. We'll be back with the episodes that have been really good with we'll be up to date with the XFL again. We'll be up to date with everything. But right now, it's we gotta really lay low because we don't want people sick. And the president, Trump, is doing really well with what he's doing right now. So I think, in my opinion, but what I think is that it will get better. But we just gotta stay safe and we gotta look out.
Exactly. Yeah, definitely. The Sports Garden's probably going to go on hiatus after this, probably for a couple weeks at least.
Maybe. You never know.
Because one thing, we're not going to have any content for a couple weeks because everything is canceled and postponed. And another thing is that we got to stay safe. So I hope everyone out there is staying safe. And
another thing is,
careful.
Last thing, because this might be the end of the show right here, but last thing I want to say is that during this break, if we're not if we're not like actually gonna be on like Sports Grind during this whole break, we will come out with a YouTube channel, and these shows will be on the YouTube channel, so you guys can go watch that.
Keep an eye on that.
Keep an eye on that. We are working on it, and we will work on it over the break of this whole like catastrophe. But we hope things get better.
Yeah,
and
most definitely.
We hope sports return soon. Maybe
Yes,
maybe in like in a month or two, maybe it'll come back. But let's hope. So that's it for now, guys. Stay safe. Wash your hands, and I hope things get better for the players and for everyone out there, no matter what country you're in. So yeah, without further ado, I'm Tyler Wargo.
I'm Mickey Perella.
And thank you guys for watching the Sports Grind. Stay safe out there. Love you guys, and yeah.
Peace.
Bye.